Hey, what's up guys? Back with another video, and today we're talking about the Xbox Series S and devs get more memory to improve graphics performance. And this article is pretty much completely wrong. It says this could address developer complaints about memory constraints. They're adding about 500 megabytes of memory to the Xbox Series S. So normally they had about 2 gigabytes reserved for the OS and then 8 gigabytes for gaming applications, and they're basically bumping it up to 8.5 gigabytes. This doesn't make any sense. Like, this won't really help that much, only in like maybe 1% of scenarios. And my reasoning behind this is that, you have these 500 megabytes that get added. The developer could just use swap space in memory. Swap space, you would write the thing that you were going to write to RAM onto the NVMe SSD on the Xbox Series S, and you would get the same thing. Like the NVMe SSD on the Xbox Series S and the Series X and the PlayStation 5, they're all super fast. So if you use that for swap space, you could get maybe similar performance, if not the same performance. And, maybe that, 2% increase in frames per second. Maybe you only get a 1% frames per second by writing 500 megabytes out to swap on the NVMe. There's only so far you can push it, and I don't think this is going to impact any games. There's some crazy people saying that this is going to boost FPS in some games from 30 frames per second to 60. That's not going to happen. I mean, that's just not going to happen. That might happen in one game, but every other game, it's not going to happen. And I just find like these articles like super sensationalist, that they're saying that this is going to address developer complaints. If I'm a developer, I'm just going to write the memory out to swap space on the NVMe and use that. And even then, that's not going to help me. It's not RAM constrained on the Xbox Series S, unfortunately. Is that they're trying to push too high a frame rate on hardware that's underpowered. And so the Xbox Series S is a PlayStation 4 Pro in terms of performance, and the PlayStation 4 Pro was worse than the Xbox One X. And so in terms of performance, so it's just not gonna, this is not gonna help very much. I mean, there might be one game where you could see that crazy thing that people are saying, oh, it's going to go from 30 frames per second to 60. Like, that's exactly what Rich at Review Tech USA was saying, and that doesn't make any sense. 500 megabytes is not going to get you there, and I just wanted to report on it. It is interesting that they are giving them 8.5 gigabytes versus 8 now. Even if they gave them 9 gigabytes versus 8 gigabytes, that's still not going to help. You need more graphics and you need better processing power. So, yeah, in terms of this, I wanted to report on it because I wanted to give a differing view. I just think this won't really help. I mean, when you add more RAM and you only add a few hundred megabytes of RAM, that's not going to increase your FPS the way you increase your FPS on a console or on a PC. Is you get more graphics cores and you get more CPU cores. This has been documented all over the internet by Linus Tech Tips and others. Very rarely, when you add more RAM, do you get more FPS. And a lot of games you can still run on just 8 gigabytes or less of RAM. So, and get the same FPS as you would 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes. So I just don't think this is going to help developers. What would help developers is if they discontinued the Xbox Series S and they made like the Xbox Series S2 and they made a more powerful Xbox Series S. That would help developers because then they would have more powerful hardware to actually run these newer games and not run it on underpowered hardware. So, yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.